Hey everybody, welcome back to another Kairos 101 tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to integrate your Kairos surface into your Kairos system. One of the fantastic things about having this sort of IP-based workflow is that the surface that comes with this system is really optimized to work in tangent with what you see in Kairos Creator. There's certain aspects of Kairos Creator that are designed specifically for the panel use. So there's certain sections within macros and some of the scenes, actually some of the setup that we have in the panel section that really allows us to customize what we see in front of us to give us the best looking show. So with that said, the first place we're going to start off with is on the surface itself. What I have in front of me is not the whole surface. We have just the first transition bar with the cut and auto section. This right here in the middle is all the 8 sort of transition layers that we have, along with some function buttons, and then some different options here where we can select the standard mix via black, mix via white, white black, etc. To the right of the dial, the number panel here is where we would find some of the settings for Ptz Control. The joystick is right above here, out of frame. And then right in this section is sort of the heart of the control. So this is where we get started with setup. A couple things to note over here is we have also a macro and a VTR section, which I'm going to go over in just a second. So I want to get my controller set back up to talk to our Kairos system. So we're going to go, when we first boot it up, we're going to have to apply an IP address to the surface, which I've already done, along with your network mask, subnet mask, and your gateway. So you could pretty much put this anywhere in the world and be able to control your Kairos system as long as all the IP is set up correctly. In addition, on the settings menu, we have some calibration tools, along with brightness control, contrast, font size, some info, and then more importantly is the profile section. Currently I have 8 profiles built out, which we'll cover as soon as we're connected. The surface is flashed because it has some, the IP address memorized, but I'm just going to disconnect really quickly. So it's going to be like this. It's connected now, so it flashed again. So it brings it all up. It actually stores those profiles to memory on the panel, so that's probably why it thought it was connected. But if I were to go and manipulate some of those things, it probably would not have done anything because it actually wasn't connected to the server. So now it says connected to 10.22.13, which is our server IP address. So now that's in the menu section. And then above that, as I was saying, as VTR, which controls our clip player and our RAM players as well. So all those stores are accessible right on the panel. So you could set a macro, for example, and have this certain clip loaded up. And then you can use this as your transport instead of having to go and manually click with the mouse. So you have full control over those things in right on the surface itself, which is really handy. So CP1, meaning clip player 1, have this unboxing background animation, which you've probably seen in some of our unboxing videos. Be sure to go check those out if you haven't already. You might see yours truly there. Anyways, from here, what I can do is that currently is on the LED wall, which you can see in camera 2. So if I go ahead and play, it's going to start the clip player. I can confirm that by going to the clip layer section, and I can see that channel 1 is currently up and running. It's rather subtle, so that's not really going to do us any good. Let's say I switch it out for channel 2. Channel 2, I'm going to put channel 2, clip layer 2 in the LED wall. So let me just go ahead and transition the background in the LED wall. And there's a nice Cheesehead TV draft animation. So I can go ahead and pause, play, turn on and off the looping section of it. As you can see, that all is happening in real time on the clip player. It stopped, so I can also go back to the beginning of the clip press play again, and then make sure it loops. I also have these step, forward, and back controls, which goes frame by frame throughout the entire clip. So that covers a little bit about that. Then let me go ahead and mention about macros. This macro section up here, this is specific to the profile. So these two macros that I have in front of me, which was to transition to a specific, this macro here fires off an animation on the LED wall. I'll just fire it off. It's a one-shot macro that I built out for a show. And then I built out another macro, which transitioned the TV and the LED wall in the same. So let me go ahead and transition back on Clip Player 2. So those are built out by going to Macros, Control, and then we have three different sections. We have your global, your scene, and your panel. So the panel section, as you can see, so Profile 8, this LED wall, these two different change macros which were made, those are specific to the profiles. So if I were to go through all the other profiles that we have various macros that are accessible for that panel. Now, if I've made global macros, I can go ahead and copy one of these. So I'm just going to copy Rec 1. So I'm going to just right click and press copy, go to the panel, go to Profile 8, and then paste it. And there it is. I can also, rearrange the order of these, move left. So then Rec 1 will show up on my macro section on the panel, which is fantastic. So it's really easy to add and subtract macros right on the control surface. To the left of that, as we mentioned, is the section on transitions. We have the various layers here, so we can select how that controls our cut and auto transition. So if I were to select one, that's going to affect the background mix. Then number 2 is going to figure out layer 2. 3 is layer 3. 4 is this other background stinger transition that I made a little while back. So that's a little bit about the basics of how the surface is really powerful. I didn't even get into the Ptz control. I mean, right over on the right-hand side, we have that Ptz control. So if I just select Ptz, it's going to bring up to 8 of the cameras that we have designated in the switcher already as PTZs. Then I can select each camera. So camera 1, for example, and this is a little bit out of frame, but you gotta trust me here. If I use the joystick, you can see that I'm manipulating camera 1. You can even see it in its reflection, which is really funny. That's another really, really cool feature about how this control panel, like not even on the left-hand side of it, just the right-hand side of the control panel is really powerful to make this system super, super flexible. I hope you found that informative. Thank you guys so much for watching another Kairos 101 tutorial, and I'll see you on the next one.